image. And here in that map, to show you this green color marking state forest areas, so that you can see that basically we are spread over the country, and that means that also from the energy wood collection point, we could supply and collect it at different places where we are looking forward to have also customers for forest residuals, for chips made of that. Of course, while we are having more forests there in the same, we are having more protection areas as well. But basically, that's maybe could describe you that how the forest from the northern part and southern part of the country differ as in territory, in area. Those two are quite equal, but this is twice as big as for example, this or this one. But as per volumes wise, these are absolutely equal regions. So it means we have poorer forests here with smaller average yield and increment, and we have the best forests growing here we are right now as well, in southeastern part of the country. And we are managing those areas, so we have the free forest management areas, and the number of forest districts which are responsible for planning the works. All the works which must be done in state forest are organized and prepared by forest districts. Currently we are having more than 800 employees. The value of the forests managed by us is about 767 million euros. This is just a figure. There's a methodology to determine the figure based on long-term average wood price, 10 years average wood price. So if this wood price will change more than 10%, for example, within a year, we need to recalculate the value. It will not, then it stays like this. And the last year was quite successful for us. We grew quite much of a turnover as well as the operating profit. And as we are state-owned organization, we transfer to a state budget each year a certain amount, which is agreed basically on the government level, proposal made by the Ministry of Financial Affairs, and our council must then approve this. And if you look at the distribution of the turnover, then you see that the segment of sale of wood, chips and residuals comprises now about 8%, so that part of the pie has been growing within the last 3 years, so from 0 to 8% in form of chips or residuals. So therefore maybe it's quite a fast growth, but the conditions also in the market for forestry are quite favorable to do that. Yeah, I'm slightly also looking back to the history. When we started this topic in our organization, first we learned looking around how Scandinavian countries did and succeeded, and we started to make first resource analysis. And this project was held already in 2003. Of course, situation is changing, the market is changing, and the theoretical studies nowadays maybe are not so good to build up any kind of procurement structures, as theoretically we could provide much more biomass, wooden biomass than we actually today could do. This will come to later. Then we had later some two international projects funded by our ERDF and also self-financed and financed by Ministry of internal affairs. So also we carried on pilot study area project on pilot project on a certain area to determine the costs, also procuring the wood and the wastes, and done some environmental assessment also together with Finnish Tapio. Those have given us some kind of encouraged to continue, and we started maybe more enthusiastically selling wooden chips and producing wooden chips 2009. But during these years till 2009, we also in some areas we procured residuals out of forest, and there were some partners with whom we succeeded to do that, but it was very marginal and not worth to mention. We just, let's say, we tested. And here you can see how much this now has been developed within last 2 years, when we started 2009 to sell chips, and which was the result last year. What we do expect to sell this year, and probably to increase it further next year. If all the current conditions remain and the proportions in the market on the other mechanical industries competitive level remains where it is now, then I won't think that we could increase it further. Has reached the level, but we may see also some tendencies that actually depending on the government policy and the way of handling the issue on government level, might be seen also some interesting, put it that way, interesting scenarios that maybe this will drop, or maybe this will go further. But if current conditions and as also the subsidies which are provided for green energy producers remain on that level, then maybe we are able to supply as much as we have estimated here. What are the experiences we have learned? One thing is that actually, compared with private forest owners, we have quite a big area to cover and to take care of. We have probably better potential to collect forest residuals, but still, due to the very mixed and sort of different forest plots, we have kind of a natural restriction here also, as we are going to the to one particular, for example, forest site to collect the residuals. Then we only get some 150 loose cubic meters in average. So that therefore, one restriction already we have why we cannot bring out all the resource available is just pure question of cost. And today, as the service or which we procure our partners is also designed and developed in that way that the containers which the companies use to transport chips is about 90 loose cubic meters. That corresponds basically to a minimum quantity which we also can provide in the forest roadside. We have seen that the price-wise, the ability to pay for the chips is much different between CHPs and local boiler houses. Therefore, wire distance is also different. So we could transport longer distance to CHPs and twice less to local boiler plants. Well, another thing is that if you look at the total forest area in Estonia, and you have seen partly our country also, we have 70% of the forest in, we consider these kind of winter type of forests, and 30% are annually manageable. So this winter type of forest means that we could go in the area if the surface or the ground surface of the soil is enough frozen to carry the heavy machinery. So therefore we are using much of the branches, tops of trees on the forwarding trails, and then the tractors rolling over the trails, tramping the branches down to the soil, and this will be mixed with minerals. And after that, we could not collect the branches from the trails anymore. Or if we do that, we have tried it as well. We get too much ash in the chips, and the boilers and CSPs don't like it. So therefore, we have been searching where is the balance, how much of this kind of residuals we could collect, which contain some kind of stone, parts of stones, or let's say soil and other minerals. And that's really big problem with that way, that we cannot bring out the branches, and these are needed for the trails. And we also have learned that actually it's in order to satisfy and supply the need to the companies, we could not only save it in collecting the residuals, but we need to keep some stability, so adding some chips made of round wood. And of course, this comes also back to the price, that if the price of chips is higher than the price of round wood, taking into consideration also the production cost, then we could do that. So far, it has been so that it has enabled us to make this package for each customer quite attractive, that it contains both chips of residuals and some round wood. So therefore, we've been able to practically use also the forest residuals.